Good morning. Sorry it's been a while, but I had a few minutes today and thought I would do a little recording. Um, my readings were awesome as usual, but particularly the one I'm on now is still in John, chapter 9. Each one of these chapters in John has so much, and it takes a while to go through it, which is awesome. I love taking time to just mine every word like gold. And it is called John chapter 9. The first part talks about the man born blind. And I'm actually more in the second part. But Jesus went and had seen this man, as it just says, as he went along. So on his day, there's something there to see. And I guess I pray that in my day, I see what you want me to see. And he saw this man born blind, and there was a question they had about whether it was him who sinned or his parents who sinned, and Jesus said it's not for any of it, it's for God to be glorified, which gives us confidence and encouragement that when bad things happen, we can't say it's because of a punishment or something like that always, but to say God's going to use that. God has a plan, and it gives us peace and purpose even in that event. And then we see that Jesus says some words about him being the light of the world, which again is kind of that metaphor and analogy to the darkness. And even in all sorts of literature, you know, the sages, the ones who really are wise, are the ones who are blind. And so Jesus goes down and he grabs mud, which I've heard for the first time, which I didn't think about, is really how we all were made, out of clay, out of mud. That was cool. And then he puts it on his eyes, which you would think, and this story I guess is especially relevant because I'm legally blind without correction, and being able to see to be is everything. And I'm amazed every day I put in my contacts to say that God allows me to function because I have that. But this man, Jesus goes down and takes clay, and it says he just used his own spit. Jesus used his own spit to make that clay. Things don't have to be as perfect or complicated. It wasn't blessed water. It was just his spit, and he made clay from it, whatever he had, and he put it on the blind man's eyes. And you would think, oh, so he's actually blinding him, because you don't want things in your eyes. It obviously isn't in his eyes, but on your eyes, and by claying them up, you're almost making them not be able to see. And that's kind of the cool thing that Jesus did. It is like, in not being able to see physically on your own, I'm going to give you sight. And so he tells the man instructions and tells him to go to the pool of Siloam. And I'm not sure how far away that was, but I like the phrase that the man was confident in his power and obeyed his commands. So I ask for the same confidence and focus and willingness to follow you, Jesus, no matter how kind of strange the request might be. So he says, go to the pool and wash off this mud. And later he just says, when people were asking him, how did this happen? He says, well, this man, Jesus, told me to go and wash. And so I went and I washed and I could see. And that's exactly how Jesus phrased it in the account, or how John wrote it. So the man went and washed and came home seeing. And it's kind of that picture of our souls in a way. You know, we come to him dirty with whatever it is that just is keeping us from the blessings God wants. Just is clay could even just be like so hard, you know, so confining even. I'm sure he probably couldn't even move his eye lids. And so the water, and just like with baptism, it's not the water itself, but it's following Jesus's command that said, do this and believe and be baptized and you will be saved. Go wash off that water. Wash in the pool of Siloam. And he doesn't necessarily tell him that he will see, but I think that was implied in what the blind man believed. And so just that phrase today, I guess I didn't recognize even that it's going to come up in my next part of the reading. If I get a chance to do a video tomorrow, we'll talk about it. But that even the blind man said it so simply: I went, I washed, I see. And we can pray that in our lives. So there's a couple of more little sentences that I thought were cool. And it's about kind of being healed by Jesus going to the water that cleanses, which is Jesus and the Holy Spirit, as a fountain that he tells the another woman at a well from Samaria who was an outcast of sorts, because she was a woman, because she was a Samaritan woman. Anyway, he tells her that the spring of living water could live in her if she had his water. So I want us to think for a minute of that spring of water, and thinking of us coming to the fountain, coming to Jesus's fountain, coming to him with whatever is keeping us from his blessings and from the joy and peace he wants to give us. Ignore that alarm. It's 6 o'clock. I'm going to get the kids. But this last phrase here: come to the fountain weak and be strengthened. Come to the fountain doubting and be satisfied. Come to the fountain mourning and rejoice. Come to the fountain trembling and triumph. Come to the fountain blind and see. And those are the words from Matthew Henry, old-time writer and theologian, I guess. Preacher, perhaps. And then finally he just says sing. So there's really no reason not to sing, to be joyful, to give God glory today in being able to see through faith. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.